Today we're talking about offset, along with its best friend, fillet. This is going to be one of the most commonly used functions when you're editing your drawings. Just to keep everyone on the same page, as a refresher, let's define another term, parallel. If we have lines that are side by side and having the same distance between them, so parallel lines will never meet. An analogy you can think of is railroad tracks. Along those railroad tracks, the tracks are parallel along that whole path, right? When we offset, we are creating a new geometric object. For us, that's lines and arcs that are parallel to the original selected object at a known distance. If you haven't already, please download, import, and open the Offset Practice LTC so you can follow along in the next lessons. Let's start doing some quick offsets. I have a project open. If you're following along, I'd like you to have a project open as well. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in to this single corner so you can really see what's happening. When we click on offset in the main action bar, offset element is used most often, so that is what comes up by default. And let's pay attention to all of our modes and switches. We pick the amount that we would offset. For me, most often, I'm offsetting for overhangs. I'm going to pick 1.5 inches. I'm going to use this quite a bit. Let's hit the star and save that as a quick action for later. So we can add as much overhang as we want in this area. We'll talk about keep original and revise style independently, but let's just do one offset real quick. I'm going to hover over this line, click it once, and the direction that we want to go. So I'll click on the outside. It creates that new parallel line exactly 1.5 inches away from the original. Now let's start changing some settings. I'll undo and we'll turn off keep original. When I select the line and then the direction I want it to go, we see it remove the original line, but we also see the color changes. Let's undo that again. Keep original, revise style off. Pick the line, the direction we want to go. With revise style off, it's not going to pick the finished blue color that's highlighted here. It would maintain whatever the original edge style or color is. We'll undo. Turn revise style on. Again, the most common instance of using offset element for me is overhangs. Let's best fit and quickly add overhangs to all the main countertop edges in this drawing. There we go. Another example of offsetting a single element would be to create a negative reveal on this sink. I'm going to change the color to a flat polish. And let's do an 1/8 inch overhang in the sink. Pick the line, decide that I want it to land on, and we see those new lines show up just like that. Zoom in a little bit more. So you can see that new line that's exactly parallel to the original line. When I'm offsetting, I typically am not going to use element for a scribed wall. We're going to save that for the next lesson. Now let's offset a group of line segments. That group of line segments, sometimes we'll call that a polyline. Multiple connected line segments can all move as a connected group of entities. If you used our legacy LT app, this was called offset scribed wall. The big difference is now, thanks to edge detection, it's faster and easier to use. Let's go ahead and take a look by continuing on with the same project file. Just like before, we'll click on offset, except now we'll go down to offset edge. Just to keep this very visible for a second, I'm going to come up to View, and let's turn on our captured points. These are the actual points that the laser captured. So we can see the group of line segments all working as one edge. I'm going to go back to Element, and now each individual line segment is getting highlighted. In Edge, I'm going to leave the offset a little large so you can see exactly what it's doing. We'll pick that entity, the direction we want it to go, and we see that entire group of line segments moves all at once. Let's turn the view captured points off, and I'll show you how I typically would do this in reality. I'm going to change my color to cabinets for these walls because we want this to fit easily. My active color will go back to wall. I'll go to Offset, Edge. I'll leave this larger than normal. Typically, I would use 3/32 of an inch, but let's do 3/8 just for the sake of example today. And offset by keeping the original and revising the style into wall. I am using on this panel a single line segment. On the wall, all that group of line segments, and this wall, the group of line segments. And we can see that we came in a specific amount all the way around. This would be too much gap in reality, but for the lesson, you can see that little bit of difference there would make this nice and easy to install.